Okay, so today we have got one of my projects on the bench. It's an old Ham International Jumbo. It's a Citizen band radio. Um, I basically, well, I've done a lot to it, as you can obviously see, but a lot of people have said to me, "Look, why have you done this?" And I turn around and I say, "Well, look, I wanted to learn to code. I wanted to get stronger with microcontrollers and SDR. So I thought it was a perfect project. So yeah, as you can imagine, it's kept me quite busy. I released a video a couple of months ago, and it did the rounds on all the forums, and there was a lot of speculation about this radio. There were some people saying that it was a Yaesu, and I put it into another case, and there was someone even said they thought it was CGI, which I found rather amusing. But yeah, none of the above, I'm afraid. So sorry to disappoint. Okay, I'll just say one thing. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe, because it will really help me. Obviously, I want to make more content like this. I want to actually make videos on how I've done this to this radio, which, with coding and microcontrollers, Arduinos and all that good stuff. And it would certainly help the channel. So yeah, please like and subscribe. Okay, so if we have a quick run through what's happening here. I've tried to keep everything the same. To be honest, the noticeable feature is I've removed there was a bezel in here, so I basically got rid of that. Simply because this screen doesn't quite fit in there properly. It's actually too big, and the bezel, took up quite a bit of space. So it gave me a bigger screen area. The glass, I just glued it onto the back of the panel there. We've changed there was a channel change. It's now a rotary encoder, which is a VFO. So turn it, it will tune. I've replaced all these. These are now rotary encoders with detents rather than switches. The addition of these three knobs here, which is just simply EQ. So something I was playing with. So you've got high, mid and low. So you get a bit of more body onto what you're listening to. AF gain, same as before. And that's the clarifier, which is now an RIT, a receive increment tuning. Again, that's now a rotary encoder. Squelch, and obviously we've got the band selector. This is mode selector as before, so as you toggle through. But again, it's a rotary encoder, so it's all automated inside. So the microcontrollers are automating the switching. And here, if we switch, you can switch between A and B VFOs. Over here, mic gain, normal stuff, RF gain, as before. This pull tuning, well, obviously we don't need it, we've got a VFO, but that's for power now, the RF power, so you can actually pull out, and it gets to 100 watts, and push it in, it works, it's a 10 watt maximum then. Calibration, I'm not doing anything with that at the moment. The switches, well, this is a second bandpass filter, but it'll only switch in on some of the ham bands. It doesn't cover this. High, low filtering, is what was originally in the radio. I haven't changed it. We've got here, this is a preamp. It tells you the preamp's on. This is AGCD, which is delayed AGC, and this is just AGCS, which is slow, and this is the noise blanker, which isn't doing anything at the moment. Well, it is, but I need to work on it. Obviously, the knob's now VFO. The knob is actually off a Yaesu FT920, so yeah, but it seems to suit the radio quite well. The only thing is, I understand why they put VFOs and extend them out, because you catch your hands on everything around it, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I actually quite like these cases. This is a case that Cybernet, the company that manufactured it, used to make hi-fi separates, and this is that case basically. Yeah, it's the same case. Things I don't like these. I don't like the look of that with the speaker. You know, it's you know, I would have thought it'd be nice if they put the speaker on the side or something, but that's the way they've made it. But it is what it is. Okay, so let's go through what it can do. So we've got the band selector here. So if I turn it, it will cycle through the amateur radio bands. So 40 meters, 10 meters, 6 meters, 4 meters, 2 meters and 70 centimeters. So she's got quite a range on it, closed, but if we press and hold this, we get a little menu. Basically what this is saying is we can toggle if we move this around. So if we want to receive on A and transmit on B, we just simply press that in. And then if we come back out, and if I key up now, this is obviously displaying the BVFO menu. So when we key up, you can see it transmits on the other VFO. So, okay, what else? So we'll put that back. We can actually cycle through. We've got, these are channels, so if we press this, it will go into channel mode, and if we rotate the band selector, it takes us through a different bands. So I got all these off the internet. I'm not sure if they're all completely correct, but we've got UK FM, and we've got bands of 50, which I saw, so I put them in. We've got New Zealand, citizens band frequencies, South Africa and Japan. I've even channelized the 2 meter band, so it's just moving in 12.5 kc steps or kilohertz steps. We've got the marine bands. This is, I've done this. I have no intention of operating this on the marine bands, but I just wanted to obviously see what I could actually program. So if we change you can adjust the channels, and some of them are half duplex, some are simplex channels, and I've tried to put a bit of description in there: ship to ship, ship to air. Again, I'm not quite sure if these are actually right, but I put them in just for good measure. So, used by Coast Guard. And if we keep cycling, we go up, we can get onto the PMR 446. Again, you just adjust the channels here. And if we go again, we've got PMR 446 digital. Now, it won't work in digital mode because I haven't, I'm still doing that programming. So there's still a lot needs doing to this. But I use it for doing development work. So it's just a good little thing I can actually put. That's why it's fully loaded, because I get an idea and then I'll see if I can make it work. Okay, and if we press this button again, we get into this is general coverage mode. So you know, you could make a good shortwave receiver. If we we've got coarse tuning, so if we turn the band selector, it now cycles through these memory channels. And basically what that is, if you adjust it, so let's say I would take it up one case, a couple of hertz. So, okay, so we take it there and then I'll move away from it and come back, it's always going to be there. Switch the radio off, switch the radio on, doesn't matter. There's no battery backup in this. This is all done with FRAM, which is it's a Ferrous random access memory. So yeah, it's quite clever how it works. And of course, so if we hit the mode button and watch this, these are coarse tuning steps. So if I want to tune at 10 kc intervals, I can. And I can, 100 kilohertz. Because obviously we haven't got a keyboard, so I had to try to figure out a way so that you can get round the bands. And it works quite well. I quite enjoy using it, to be honest. So you get quite proficient at using it. Okay, let's turn that down. What else have we got on here? Okay, let's. I'll zoom in onto the S meter and we'll go through that. Okay, so if we look at this section here, we've got. Well, I'll start at the bottom. We've got indicators here. This is when we turn the knob. It's just for a quick glance so that you can see roughly where you're set to at a glance. That's the RF power. And we've got mic gain, which we can adjust. It shows you. And obviously RF gain, which turns down the RF gain. Now above that we've got the squelch level, and if I turn the squelch, you can actually see that little line. I probably want to choose a different colour than white because the peak marker is also white. So as that goes past the signal level on the bar meter, it will obviously go into mute or squelch. So you can see. So if I back that back off. Okay, obviously we've got a bar meter. In here we've got there's a peak meter, and if we look at the top here, that's giving us a signal level, but that's actually tied to the peak. And it's the same if you go into transmit. We've got it tells you the power. So if we key up, that's what happens. So yeah, we've also got in here, we've got bandwidth, and obviously this little indicator at the top here saying analog. Well, we can actually, if we press the mode selector, just press it in, it goes to DSP. Now that isn't the old CB radio. Now that's pure SDR, so that's an analog to digital converter, and obviously some software which is decoding it. But when we're in this mode, we can actually, if I press and hold the mode, I'm running out of buttons, we can get in there and I can adjust the filters. This is obviously the bandwidth, receive bandwidth filter. And you can take it quite wide. It works quite well. Obviously, we can't adjust the ones on the original radio because they just fixed analog filters, you know. So I press and hold that again, it will come out of that mode. The switch between analog, which has gone quiet now. So that's analog. So I'll turn it up so you can hear it. Analog, digital. I don't know, sometimes, you know, some conditions digital's better and sometimes analog's better, so I'm a bit undecided what's the best. Okay, so if we've got in here, we've got an RIT, so if I press that and switch it on. So if I turn, this is where the clarifier button was, so if I turn that, you can... Now there's one thing with this, if you try and tune, if you tune and you've got the RIT on, it flashes red. So I've done that because I've done it so many times, sort of gone, especially on sidebands, so go in and they says you're off frequency and you realise you've left your RIT engaged. So when you press that, it just switches it off. So we've got the indicators here. So we've got AGCD, it's just on the switch here. Yeah, so we've got a slow AGC and a delayed AGC. We've got a preamp. This puts on about 10 or 15 dB gain. That's just high-low filter, which was as before. And that's the second bandpass filter, which isn't engaging because it doesn't cover this band. Obviously, over the other side, we've got, that's to say, let's see if we can get it in focus. Okay, so that's the accelerator. So if we tune it and get it going, you can see it. It tells you that it flashes when it's accelerated. Obviously, if we go into the menu, there's other. Just got to press and hold. Let's just get this back into focus. Apologies for all this. I really struggle with this. The camera really doesn't like the glare from the glass because obviously the display's behind the glass. It just does not like it. So we'll just try and get it. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about as good as we're going to get it. So in here, if we go through, we've got. So we press that. It shows us. And what they're saying is the VFO's locked when the RIT is on. So I thought it was quite a good little feature. And we've got TX lock. So if I key up now and turn the VFO, it would have to, wouldn't it? Okay, for those of you who are into programming or would like to know, basically the graphics, most of it's written in C++. I've used Qt, it's an IDE to develop this, and what you're actually seeing is it's actually Java, but it's QML code, which is a Qt, it's Qt, but they call it Qt, but it's part of their package. It's all written in code. There's no UIs in this. I've actually written every single bit of code. So what you're seeing is handwritten code. So I like doing it that way because I want to learn, but it is a bit tedious, I must admit. The FFT is in C#. This is this is something I've downloaded from GitHub. What they've done, people have been developing FSTs and SDR. So, but that's in C#, which I am not the best at. But again, it's like anything, you'll learn. That's about it, really. In the next video, what I'll do, I'll go through and we'll get the lid off it, and I'll show you what I've done inside. So, yeah.